This video is made possible by EA Game Changers. Welcome to Rotterdam. Hope you guys are all doing good today. Oh boy, we have a lot to discuss. If you didn't like the map seen in the alpha, this one may just change your minds. Rotterdam is game changing in my opinion, but before we get into that and my thoughts on it, first things first, good news, Battlefield has actually been delayed until November the 20th. I say good news because it gives the devs a little more time to polish the game for launch and hopefully bring us more features on release. Battlefield 1 did launch pretty smoothly, let's hope they can do the same again. The beta starts on the 4th of September for early access by the way, and 2 days later for everyone else, ending on the 11th I believe. So do be sure to let them know your thoughts, they may extend it if you ask nicely. Anyway, I was flown out to Gamescom in Germany last week to check out Rotterdam. I'll be honest, at first I wasn't so sure. The map seemed quite big, not everyone was playing, so the server was a little empty and lacked flow in places. But once people jumped in and it got going, oh man, this map is without a doubt one of the best maps I've ever played. It's a mixture of Amiens from Battlefield 1 and Sen Crossing from Battlefield 3. Close quarter battles, mid-range and even long-range engagements, it's got them all. Let's not forget about the verticality either. The bridge is a sniper paradise. Well, if you're good enough that is. Many of you will be tempted to go up there and snipe. You may be successful for a while, but if you don't get a feel for the flow of the map quickly, you'll soon be taken out. Honestly, I wouldn't worry about the snipers up there too much. They can be powerful at times, but the way the map plays out, honestly, they're not a huge issue. Also, it's not all run and gun as you may have seen in my initial gameplay videos I posted yesterday, and also it's not as easy as it looks. Do check out my sniper gameplay going up tomorrow, and also the Nvidia RTX 2080 Ti gameplay that I posted yesterday as well, for different gameplay showing different kinds of pacing going on. It's definitely much more about strategy this time round. You can be aggressive if you know what you're doing, it's just a little tougher in places. And also, as you're watching these gameplays and from other people as well, keep in mind, not all the servers were full, some people were sat there recording customizations, so expect there to be more action and stuff going on in the beta than you see in some of these videos. Okay, so customization is in this build too, along with plenty of new weapons. If you want a nice looking factory skin on that STG, go for it. Maybe something to help you hide in the bushes, they got that too. Maybe you just want a ridiculously messy looking gun. Up to you, you can do that. Plenty of sights for you to choose from as well. Some do need a little tweaking, a little too dark in places. I'm actually a big fan of the iron sights, they work quite well for me. Some weapons actually have 7 items for you to customize. These are only visual customizations by the way, so they don't actually affect the handling of your weapon. Currently, assaults are geared towards mid-range. The STG will still be a popular choice like it was in the alpha, but don't expect this to be so powerful further down the line. It's a good all-rounder for sure, for now at least. You'll also find the Gewehr 43 stolen from the Medic, the M1A1 Carbine, and the Turner's SMLE, a semi-automatic conversion of the Lee Enfield bolt action rifle. Medics are a little different this time round, mainly geared for close range combat. SMGs only for the time being. You get the MP40, the EMP, the Suomi, and the Sten. MP40 is a good choice, Sten is a slower firing weapon, and the higher rate of fire for the other two is definitely good for close quarters gameplay. For those who want consistency, I'd recommend sticking with the MP40. All medics do come with a syringe this time round, a good move in my opinion, no more waiting for medics who cannot even revive because they've decided to go for something else. Rather annoying, I'm sure you guys agree. The support class has this beast, the M30 Drilling. A shotgun you'll probably get very annoyed by. Powerful no doubt, but not as easy to use as it looks. Get caught out in the open with this one and you're screwed. Sadly, due to the corrupt footage, I didn't manage to get any clips with the third barrel. That one is perfect for range, definitely recommend giving it a go. The KE7 is an absolute beast, highly recommend using this one in the beta. The FG42, faster firing, 20 rounds, a bit risky, definitely recommend firing in short bursts. And you also have the Bren as well, as seen in the alpha. The Lee Enfield for the Scout class is an absolute beast, I'll be uploading some footage of that tomorrow, equipped with the iron sights, medium and long range scopes. Highly recommend you check it out. Not much to say about the rest of the scout weapons, except this thing is ridiculous. This is the ZH29. This was a bit of a favourite among the game changers at Gamescom. It is just, oh my god, it needs a nerf. Definitely recommend checking it out in the beta, but don't expect it to be as good as it is here in the final release. Interesting changes here for the better, I believe. Medics definitely not as powerful as they used to be. They still are useful, of course, especially in close quarters. Less medics sat behind boxes, instantly healing themselves, or support players never pushing up sounds like a good idea to me, unless you got some teamwork, of course. Those resupply stations definitely change up the meta in a positive way, in my opinion. Now, as for the map in further detail, very interesting so far, I have to say. Each flag is its own smaller battlefield, and fortifications change the flow of the map in ways you've never quite seen before in a Battlefield game. Something I noticed very quickly is how smaller battles tend to pop up, often quite unexpected. Like here, these guys across the water are in a battle with my team on the other side. I notice this, pop over and snipe them all out. I'm sure you'll see the same too in the beta, especially in between B and D flag. That area there is a hotspot for vehicle and infantry warfare. It seems that committing to a battle or not is something you'll have to think about in this game more than previous titles. Getting stuck like those guys in the open was not a wise move. Might be a good idea to take out these bridges here as well. Stop those tanks from getting across and flanking. You can rebuild them too, by the way. Now onto the other flags. Flag A is quite an open mess. Easy to take at the beginning, but difficult to capture later. Dropping sandbags makes it much easier to defend, but also turns the bottom half into somewhat of a maze. You can also cap up top on the bridge. An ammo resupply station sits above and heals below. Be sure to think about these locations before you proceed onto the flag. These resupply stations can be found throughout the map. They'll help you out for sure, but don't be thinking you can camp these and farm some kills. They aren't that helpful, and people will soon realize what you're trying to do. They add an interesting new meta to the game that hopefully you'll soon get to grips with. They can be destroyed and rebuilt too, by the way. You may want to think about that when it comes to strategy. On B flag, you'll be fighting around and inside the White House. A fun flag this one, lots of verticality, mixture of engagements, and plenty of sniping opportunities here too. Many battles often pop up in between B and D flag, so do be sure to take your time here. It is quite an open area. Only recommend jumping in the water and making your way across if absolutely necessary. Much wiser to go around the outside of the map or even fall back to the main bridge. D is one hell of a messy flag. Tough to take solo this one. The positions of the resupply stations provide major potential for interesting battles, and if you get outnumbered here, don't worry, you can easily leave the flag and flank outside in these buildings. There's a few spots inside too where you can quickly jump off the flag and remain hidden. I'm sure you'll find them in the beta. E flag is an interesting one. Very open up top, car park underneath, love the verticality here. A tricky flag to take solo, and it's best coming here in a vehicle. C flag is actually one of my favourites. Massive area here, interesting one-on-one engagements happen here often. It's best to cut off the alleyways and prevent players piling in here. You can also put down smaller fortifications and slow people down. On first viewing, you may be thinking these fortifications don't really do too much, but they certainly do. Cutting off alleyways changes up the flow. Smaller barricades slow down the pacing, make people nervous perhaps. Where will the enemies be? You know, that kind of thing. Staircases can be blocked, preventing access to the bridge. For a time anyway. You can destroy them of course, but should you may give away your position. You gotta keep this in mind as you move around the map. You may be tempted to destroy fortifications, but giving you away your position may not be a wise idea. Do recommend using fortifications, at least at the start of the map, and on the first flag you cap of course. Don't, and you may regret that later down the line. Definitely lots of interesting things can happen with these fortifications, much more than what we saw in the alpha. Very promising indeed. Oh, and C flag, you can get inside the buildings should you need to. Very helpful if you get outnumbered. Well, to an extent. The high ground may give you an advantage in some situations, but can also leave you incredibly vulnerable. There's only one way down, keep that in mind. Well, that's all I have for you today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Sadly, no tank gameplay today. They were so popular, as usual, just like the alpha. They aren't too powerful at all. Definitely didn't, I felt their presence, but I was never annoyed by them, so that's a positive. If you're good in a vehicle, I'm sure you can do well, but you're gonna definitely need some kind of teamwork going on here. I'd also recommend checking out Flakfire Gaming's channel on YouTube. I'm sure he'll have some tank gameplay very shortly. Tell him I sent you if you do go check out his channel. Anyway, unfinished map of course. Not all fortifications are present. Some rooms are empty. Not all weapons or customizations are here either. But this is very promising. Very promising indeed. Don't miss the beta, September the 4th for those who pre-ordered, and 2 days later for everyone else. If you missed my other gameplays from this map, do be sure to check out the channel and drop a like if you enjoyed this video. That's all for me today, guys. Much more to discuss very soon. Take it easy, guys. Catch you later.